Well, acting as power of attorney for my mum, I have to make sure that all her financial affairs are looked after. Also, mum has now moved into a care home, and I wanted to make sure that the financial investments that mum had inherited from her husband were as risk-free as possible to ensure that there was enough cash flow going through to pay for her care home fees for the rest of her life. Like I say, acting as power of attorney, I wanted to do the best by mum to make sure that her financial affairs were looked after and to ensure that she was kept in the care home for the rest of her life to the standard that she was used to. My name is Susan Pugh. My situation is I gave up work about 4 or 5 years ago to look after my dad. My dad then passed away, so I was then looking after my mum. She's now moved into a care home, and my job at the moment is to deal with her house and look after mum while she's in the care home and act as power of attorney now for my mum, acting on all her financial affairs. I was recommended to Crown Wealth Management by a family friend who is an accountant. I went to him in respect of some tax returns and said to him I really needed a financial review of mum's portfolio, and he recommended Crown Wealth Management to me. Before the advice, I was dealing with several different companies of which Dad had made the investments. I was dealing with several different companies, and in a way I felt out of my depth. Since going to see Brian, the moment I walked in through the door and was introduced to Brian and shook his hand, I felt at ease with him. And we went through everything, and we went through Dad's investments, and we looked at the cash flow, and we looked at Mum's care home fees and one thing and another. And by the time I came out from that meeting, I felt like a weight had sort of been lifted off my shoulders, because for years I've been trying to deal with everything and trying to do the best thing possible. But to actually speak to somebody about the investments and to get that advice back and to sort of let me know I don't have to deal with everything by myself. Anytime I ring up, there's always friendly face, always somebody on the other end of the line, very friendly. But for me also, I think Brian was able to introduce me to considering other options like the care home annuity plan, which we'd never considered before, which in a way maybe I'd wish I'd considered a couple of years beforehand. The main decision that really has helped me at the moment is the advice that Brian has given me in relation with the inheritance tax planning. He has given me the advice that I now know that with Mum going into a care home, I can sell her house and keep the inheritance tax relief allowance, which is invaluable to me. And so I've been taking the time to look at that and putting Mum's house on the market, which will then release some money to ensure the cash flow to maintain Mum's care home fees. So that's been the most important thing to me at the moment.